How's it going, guys? My name is Stone, and welcome to these reviews, or welcome back if it ain't your first time here. Today, I'm not going to be reviewing anything in particular, but instead, I'm going to be showing y'all every double album in my collection. Just to put it simply, I really love double albums. I mean, twice as much the music, 4 sides to the 2 sides. You could argue that many double LPs sacrifice quality for quantity, which I could see that being the case for certain double albums, but at the same time, I feel like once you get used to a double album and comfortable with it, it's like a long journey that is worth like either listening to it all the way through 4 sides in a row, or just, taking breaks in between, like listening to side 2 of this album and then a couple days later listen to side 4, Just having fun with it. I'm having fun with it. Here I go. Got a lot of albums to get through, so I'm gonna quit the jibber jabber while I can. But yeah, first band I got going on is Pink Floyd. Now I got 3 double albums. You could argue it's just 2. I have a third one that came out in the 90s, you could guess. First one though, Ummagumma. I got this very long time ago. Funny enough, this is the first Pink Floyd album I actually heard in its entirety. I was just really fascinated with the cover, and someone showed me Careful That Axe Eugene, and that just blew my mind. So I was like, I gotta hear the whole thing. And when I first heard it, this is, again, like Pink Floyd, one of the bands that got me into everything I like in this collection, I'd say. And psychedelic rock as a whole. So I remember being blown away by this album when I first heard it. I was like, why is it considered so bad? I think it's super good. The live stuff is really good, for sure, but the studio stuff, I don't really ever go back to nowadays. Clearly, Pink Floyd have a lot better albums than this. And though it's cool, experimental, feels improv-ish in a way, or just avant-garde, it's alright. I mean, I like the Nick Mason stuff, Richard Wright. I'm not a fan of the Roger Waters stuff. Not a big fan of Grantchester Meadows and Several Species, yada yada yada. The Gilmore stuff's pretty good too. I don't know. I feel like if this was just a double LP live album, oh my god, this would have been amazing, because Astronomy Domini, Careful That Axe Eugene, Set the Controls, Saucerful Secrets, these sound incredible, and it's definitely worth getting this album if you just want the live stuff. And following that, we get one of the first records I ever bought at a record store. I remember thinking I found the jackpot, which, if anything, I need to replace this with a better quality one, but The Wall. I remember finding this somewhere and I was like, wow, this is the first Pink Floyd album I ever bought, and it's a great album. Obviously, it's a concept album. It's one of those records you definitely want to listen to all the way through. I don't know, again, I don't really go back to this album too often. I'm definitely way more into Adam Heartmother, Animals, Dark Side. But this album is still really good. I mean, there's definitely some filler bits that help the story out, of course. But yeah, I don't know. I don't ever find myself just casually putting on side 2 or side 4, even though there's some bangers on side 3 and all throughout the entire album, on all 4 sides. It's just have to be in a certain mood for Roger Water material. But I dig, obviously, Animals is my favorite, and then another favorite of mine, Call Me a Gilmy If You May, but Division Bell. This is the double LP version, because I know back in the day they stuff all this music, which is an hour, I think, or a little more, onto one LP, and I don't know why those are pretty expensive. I've never heard comments about the quality, but I imagine it's not the greatest. But I'm glad they made it into 4 sides, though it does feel not a real double LP compared to The Wall. It's still good. All the songs flow together pretty well, and again, the way they're separated works in its favor. So it makes for, I'd say, out of the 3 double LP Pink Floyd albums, this is definitely the one I go to the most. Easier listening for sure. And after that, we got the Beach Boys. I got 2. One is live. One is technically a double LP, but it was not when it came out. This is Beach Boys live in concert. Now, this is a really good album with Blondie Chaplin, Ricky Fattar, and then Brian Wilson. No, he wasn't around for this, but he still got some great renditions of doesn't say it right here, but Let the Wind Blow, Don't Worry Baby, Leaving This Town, one of my favorite Beach Boy songs. They kill it on here. I wish there was more like Blondie vocals. I don't know how much he actually sang. I've heard clips of him singing like Wild Honey, which is cool. But they just sound fantastic on here. You can't really hear Dennis Wilson at all, but I love what's going on. I like how they play, Marcella, California Girls. But they still leave room for like Good Vibrations, really good version on here. Surfing USA, Fun Fun Fun, kind of appealing to the audience while also flexing their newer material, which I really like, especially as a big fan of this era of the Beach Boys. And then we get one of my favorite Beach Boy albums. I got a double LP version of it, Holland. It's from the Analog Productions one. They have like a whole series of Beach Boy albums. I want to get Sunflower and Pet Sounds off that record company. I can't think of it right now. The record plant, whatever. Clearly I'm not prepared for this, but here I go. Ooh, no, Holland, a great album. This double LP includes the first side being the Fairy Tale, which is nice to have all in one piece rather than like having to flip the 45. And then it ends with We Got Love. Oh my God, an amazing Beach Boys song. Holland, again, one of my favorite albums. I'm surprised they didn't just put it on the album with everything else, because it would have been like a 40-minute album. I don't know. I'm glad I have it on vinyl. And the fourth side is just Sail on Sailor as like a 45. Maybe I'll put it on after this video because it's been forever since I listened to side 4 of this. But yeah, Holland, great album. I guess it doesn't really count with the whole variety thing because it's like 3 sides basically, but I love the Fairy Tale. I love this pressing. It sounds gorgeous. You really gotta try these out. I also got Smiley Smile from the same company. Whoa, the record place. Now we got this beautiful pressing of Then Play On by Fluid Mac. It's got like a book and all that. It's the double LP version, which includes all the bonus tracks and all that. And for me, that's the way I like to listen to this album, because I know there's a lot of different varieties. I'll just show off some of these real quick, the photos. Pretty nice. It's got, as the bonus tracks, it's got a Green Man Alishi, Oh Well, World in Harmony. And again, some of the songs that are like, were taken out, switched back and forth, I think depending on like what country you lived in that had certain songs, didn't have certain ones. But yeah, Then Play On, great album. Also reviewed it, check it out. Gotta do more Fluid Mac reviews. Those are the ones that seem to be booming on my channel. Oh yeah, we're getting to this album. I'm definitely gonna review this one soon, but 666, Aphrodite's Child. What a killer album. This is like one of my favorite concept albums of all time. In my opinion, the pinnacle of like double concept albums. Obviously, you could argue like sides 2 and 3 feel like there's filler and going on and all that, but I don't think so. I think it's very much a journey, just kind of like how the concept illustrates. Got the UFO looking label. And it's funny, I got this for $60. It would have been funny if they just did like $66.60. Just come on, go with the joke. Get with it. But I'm glad I found this. This is usually pretty hard to find. But I found it in San Jose, and what a lucky guy I was. Great songs, just like, again, like side B in particular, amazing. I even like side C with like the infinity symbol one. Side 4 is amazing, obviously, with that epic at the end. After getting bombarded with like 15 songs, you close this album out on a 20-minute like jam. It's so good. Side A2 is a great opener. It really gets you into the mood of things while still keeping you on your toes. All right, now we're getting I got 2 double LPs and I got 1 triple LP. I just thought I'd show that one too. But the first one, Live Dead. Now this is a great album to have on vinyl. It's just, again, late 60s Dead, just killing it. This is a 74 repressing I got. And I mean, one of my favorite great sides of Grateful Dead music to listen to will always be Turn On Your Love Light. Oh my God. Amazing. Like that's a side of vinyl I'll put on and just like jam out to, like dance around. It's just so good, and especially how like the live setting, it seems so natural for them to play these songs. Obviously Dark Star, incredible. Saint Stephen. Oh my God, Saint Stephen. And side 4, I love how it kind of ends on this like dark note, you know, with feedback, death don't have mercy, we bid you goodnight. It's just such a haunting way to close this album out, and it's like definitely a behemoth of a record. Now to compare that to like Skull and Roses, I feel like this one is definitely a little more accessible. There's definitely long songs still, like the other one, great version on here. You could totally get lost in the drumming. But like even these songs, like I feel like they're all just paired well together. Like Mama Tried with Bertha playing in the band, closing out side 1. Side 3 is really good with Me and My Uncle, Big Boss Man, Me and Bobby McGee. I like the Johnny B. Good. I hear some people don't like it. I think the guitar tone sounds so nice on that song, so like that's why I get into it. But then honestly, probably the last side is the best side on this album with Wharf Rat, and then Not Fade Away into Going Down the Road, Feeling Bad. Stellar. Like when I was looking for this album, first side I'd listen to was side 4 because I knew this one's worth, you know, getting. Great photo of the band, notes and all that. I'll show the whole thing without dropping a record maybe. Cool. And then finally, maybe you already guessed that triple LP I have, but Europe 72 is the only triple LP I have. But again, it's funny how they have no artwork in here. I mean, they have a little book, but it's like the White Album for Grateful Dead in a way, and I dig it. I mean, obviously it has some color, but great album. This might be, out of all the live stuff, definitely my favorite, just because it's like got so many. It's got another side or another vinyl. I Know You Rider is amazing. Honestly, I don't listen to side 5 and 6 too much. Usually I go for the first 4, but if you really want to like trip out, definitely listen to like Truckin' into Epilogue and Morning Dew. I take that back. Side 6 is pretty amazing because it's got Morning Dew and it's got that prelude that really just builds things up. One of the best Morning Dews I've ever heard. I like the debut version too, but different vibe for sure. Alright. Now we get to another jam band, Eat a Peach. I also did a review on this album years ago now, but again, I just love the artwork. This is like a recent pressing of it. You can easily get lost in this while you're listening to Melissa and the Mountain Jam. I may have said this before, but when it comes to Eat a Peach, when I ever listen to this album in its entirety, I'll listen to side 1, then I'll listen to Mountain Jam, like side 2, and then side 4. I feel like it's better off like playing it that way. I like how they formatted here, but that's just the way I prefer listening to it, since, you know, I have the record, I can do what I want. And then obviously closing out on One Way Out, Blue Sky, Little Martha. I feel like that's the way, like that's a perfect ending in my opinion, ending on Little Martha. Though I like the idea they're going with. I think it would have hurt the album if they put Mountain Jam as its own disc. Maybe it wouldn't have, I don't know. I feel like I like the way they go about it here, but the way I go about it is better. But yeah, I mean, side 1, 2 is amazing. Mountain Jam is incredible. Like, this is a great album on vinyl just because, you know, get lost in it. There's some like accessible, popular tracks, but there's also some amazing guitar playing. Great stuff. Great instrumentation by everyone. Like, it just flows so easily together, kind of like Grateful Dead. But now we're getting another favorite of mine, some Zappa. Great album. This is an original stereo I got. It's got the box in. Like, you get the freak out mouth. Oh, fudge. Pause. Sorry. All these records are falling. Oy. Don't want to get distracted here. Alright, yeah. Freak out. I'm freaking out right now because they all fell, but they're fine. Again, great. I love, like, this album too as a double album. It's definitely like a loose concept to it. I love like the first disc is basically just like pop songs with a hint of like, we're gonna scare you on the next LP. With like, Who Are the Brain Police. Some of the like playing is interesting, like I'm Not Satisfied, You're Probably Wondering Why I'm Here. And then you get into side 3. I'd say the best, it's like the middle between like the accessible stuff from the first LP and then the scariness of side 4, which side 4 is crazy. I love putting that on to scare people, you know. But if you need to end a party, play that song. But like maybe skip to the last half. But Again, side 1 and side 2 are great. Side 3 and 4 are definitely more of an experience rather than a collection of songs, but just an amazing album. Big fan. Still probably my favorite Zapp album. And then the other Zapp album you already know is coming is Uncle Meat. Now this one is great. Obviously, it's kind of like all these songs are stitched together, kind of like we're only in it for the money. So it's definitely helps to listen to this side by side. I could see it being tough to listen to it all the way through. I think King Kong is the only one where you could like really just skip and have a good time with. No, I mean, not to say I don't have a good time with Sleeping in a Jar or like Project X. Those are some amazing songs. But I feel like, I mean, side 1 through 3 are definitely an experience of their own. It's easy to get lost in the crazy dialogue or just like jumping from one song to the next. Keeps you on your toes, which I already said that earlier, but it's some good stuff. And again, the compositions are really nice. I'd say side 1 is the best on here, side 1 and side 4. 2 and 3 are still really good, like they're worth checking out. Even for like, If We'd All Been Living in California, that's always a funny song to get to, if you could call it a song, which Zappa does, so why wouldn't it be one? And then, speaking of Zappa and all that, oh yeah, you already know what's up. These keep falling, I'm getting nervous. Captain Beefheart, oh yeah, I already did a ranking of every song on this album, which, yeah, I can't believe that took me an hour to do, but I got through 28 songs, you know? Great album, Third Man Records repressing, and yeah, I mean, it's got the booklet and all that. Now this album especially, this is like the pinnacle of like, listen to this album one side at a time. Like you can't listen to this all the way through. Sometimes on like Spotify, when I used to be on Spotify, I'll like just kind of like start at a certain point and just play it till I get bored or over it, I guess. But usually like, I think it works in that format too. But some people say it's better side by side just because it's so, you know, it's a lot to listen to and it can be very difficult. But I've heard this so many times now, I'm basically desensitized to it. I just love the melodies that you could hear within the madness, you know? So yeah, Drop Master Replica. I keep talking about it if I could, but check out my video where I rank all the songs. Well, now we get to another album that a lot of people say could have been better off as a single record, but I do not think so. Most people would agree with me. The White Album, and check this out, it's on white vinyl, whoa. This one's unfortunately a little warped. Good thing I have a record weight, which saves it, but yeah, it's got the poster in there too. I just like to keep it there for, you know, in case I were to, you know, sell it for millions one day. But yeah, great album, not a lot of artwork as you can tell. You could, I mean, I've heard a lot of people say like side 4 is pretty bad, like kind of just drops in quality. I honestly really like side 4 for it just being so weird and unusual for the Beatles. But again, like side 2, side 3, like all these, like I feel like all these songs are kind of just thrown together. I mean, when you get to songs like Wild Honey Pie, Continuing Story of Bungalow Bill, and then While My Guitar Gently Weeps. When I first heard that all together, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, I thought Sgt. Pepper was like jarring, but this feels much worse, not worse, but you know, much more jarring, basically. Obviously you get Blackbird, but you also get songs like I'm So Tired, which is amazing, and it comes right before Blackbird. Piggies, again, what the hell. Rocky Raccoon, great song. Again, side 2 is just so amazing. It's like 9 songs, it's pretty wild. And I like Revolution 9, I think it fits. Again, for side 4, it's just definitely one of my favorite sides of music when it comes to the Beatles. And yeah, good stuff. I would not make it a single LP. I wouldn't even want to try, because yeah, it's the pinnacle of double albums, you know. But oh, this is a great double album. This is like a record I've been looking for years, and I finally found it. Yeti, A Mondul 2. Such a good album. Like this is, again, I mean, maybe it's just the pressing too is super nice. Like it sounds very clear and whatnot. But oh my lord, like great album. The soap rock opera is, yes, soap shop rock. That, you know, segment with like Burning Sister, Golpa Sonata. I never try to say these songs out loud, but Side one is a great opener. It really gets you into it. Like the production of it is just so crisp, and it's like you feel like you're in this haze. I've done a review on this album actually with 365 Days of Prague. I'll put a link in it somewhere around here. And then side 3 and 4 have these amazing jams that you could, oh my god, easily get lost in. They're just so good. And I mean, side 1 again, so Shock Rock is amazing. Side 2 has some great instrumentals, and one of my favorite songs by this band, Eye Shaking King. Amazing song. Like, this definitely feels like an album worth listening to all the way through. But if you just want to like chill and trip out, like with a mix of records, definitely listen to side 3 and 4. It's just worth just like, you know, being lazy to, if you know what I mean. Alright, where am I? Okay, this is a fun one. Donovan. A Gift from a Flower to a Garden. This is a great record to have. It's got comes with these like illustrations and the lyrics for the second half of the album, the second LP, which is basically like, I forgot what it's called, you know, like stories for kids and all that. I guess there's supposed to be like 2 separate albums if you bought them in like a different country, but in certain places they had them just packaged together. And I think it really works in its favor because the first record is like very much more like pop Donovan. It's got some great melodic tunes, some chill, like, you know, psychedelic stuff. And then side 3 and 4, there's definitely like that psychedelic vibe to it, but it's much more acoustic based and it's just so very delicate, and it's a gift, you know, like the flower to the garden. It's just really good stuff. Easy to just chill and like, you know, get lost in, especially with the second album having the lyrics and stuff. Pretty cool. Good double album for sure. And after that we get to not 1, not 2, but 3 double LPs I have from Bob Dylan. I don't think he has more than 3, so you could probably take a guess. The first of which is Blonde on Blonde. Now this is obviously a great album, one of those essential records people say, and I agree. I mean, it took me some time to really get into like the middle of it, like sides 2 and 3, but side 1, incredible. Side 2, incredible. Side 3, still incredible. Man. You thought I was gonna say something else? And then side 4, I feel like obviously with it being just one song, it's a good way to close the album out. It's such a soft note, but there's some hard rockers in here. Like one song I've been really into from this album is obviously 5 Believers. Most Likely You Go Your Way and I'll Go Mine. That's a good one. I Want You, Visions of Joanna. Definitely side 1 and side 4 are my favorite, but side 2 and 3 still offer some quality songs that, you know, this album does feel perfect in the sense like all these songs fit so well together. Definitely an album you can listen to all the way through and have a good time with. It probably can't be the same for this album because side 4 is pretty rough, but Self-Portrait. Now, I also did a song ranking of this album. Check it out if you're a fan. This album has some really good stuff, but I do agree with all these albums in my collection. This one definitely could have been better off as a single release. It would have been so good. Because like 3 sides of it is really good in my opinion. The first 3 sides are great, but side 4 really kind of just dips a little. There's still good moments, but I don't get crazy about it, you know. But sometimes I'll listen to side 4 out of irony, you know. But side 2 is amazing. Side 1 is a great opener. Side 3, it slowly dips, but I mean, Copper Kettle, Blue Moon, The Boxer. It was some of my favorite songs. I guess the live stuff. The more I hear the live stuff, the more I'm just kind of like iffy. But again, great songs in here. All the songs, though they feel like very like random, like from other sessions and stuff, I like just the juxtaposition of them all being crammed together and like, okay, I guess we're on side 1. Good stuff, great album. This is like a recent repressing I also have of it. And then finally, this one, I feel like I can never find it anymore, but the Basement Tapes. Now this is a great album. Probably, if I had to say, yeah, it's probably my favorite Bob Dylan album. It's got the band on it. It's got all these great songs. Obviously, the Basement Tapes, they were bootlegged for a while, and then they finally released them alongside some band songs, which I find interesting. But honestly, some of the band songs are as good, if not better, than the Bob Dylan stuff. But side 4 is incredible. Side 1 is amazing. But Though it's tough to really distinguish most of these songs, besides some being Bob Dylan, some being just the band. This whole album has just a general vibe to it that is so easy to listen to. Kind of like Blonde on Blonde, where it's not as varied as that and Self-Portrait, but you can definitely just listen to the whole thing and chill. It doesn't really get too crazy. Some songs are more emotional than others, but they're all just really catchy, nifty songs that, again, it's like 6 per side. So it's, you know, it's all even, it's all Steven. It's really good stuff. Recommend it if you haven't heard it. Oh, this record's about to end, oh my lord. It's like a 30-minute song. I thought I had enough time. But, oh yeah. One of my favorite albums still. Third by Soft Machine. I've yet to see this album anywhere in a record store. I bought it online a long time ago, and I'm glad I did because I wasn't gonna wait. Because this is an album definitely worth having. I mean, 4 songs, 20 minutes basically each side, and it's just so good. This definitely is an album that I feel like it's not really meant to listen to all the way through. Like, it's better just appreciate each song as its own thing. That it just happened to be on the same album, and I love it. You know, like I'll definitely put on like side 1, then I'll put some Miles Davis on, some like Zappa, or you know, some other wild stuff. But then like another day I'll put like Funkadelic, and then I'll listen to side 2. I feel like all these songs are great, so it's kind of say tough by size, just picking my favorite songs at that point. But they all generate a mood that is unique from one another, but still contain a very unified, you know, unified musicianship. I'm just trying to sound cool for you guys, but I just love this album. Elton Dean, Robert Wyatt, Mike Radledge, Hugh Hopper, they kill it on this album, and then all the extra players they have going, super cool, like the flute and bass clarinet, the sax, the violin. Oh yeah, on side 3, great stuff, great stuff. If you haven't heard it, what are you doing? Do yourself a favor and listen to it already. And then we get to Nuggets. I also did a review of this a while ago. This is the only compilation album I have that's, you know, different artists, and it's a great one to have because it's like a bunch of, again, as the title implies, nuggets of material from bands I already have some of their records of, or bands that never released an album, they just released that single. There's some great songs on here like Sugar and Spice, the original version of My World Fell Down, which is good. Sit Down, I Think I Love You, that's a great single. Dirty Water, that was popping back in the day, I heard. Farmer John, 13th Floor Elevators, just a great representation of 65 to 68. Definitely focuses more on the garage rock side of things, I'd say, rather than like psychedelic stuff. It does both for sure, but definitely more garage. Just great album. I don't listen to it that much recently. I feel like maybe it's just because it's a bunch of different artists. Whenever I do that, I'll usually like read the paragraphs by each song while it's playing, just having fun with it. Yeah, trippy album cover too, so it's good to like flex on people. Like, ooh, great stuff. Nuggets, check it out. Check out the video too while you're here. Now the next 2 I got are just some stoner metal albums that are really good. Funny enough, this is the first album I ever got. Take a guess. Boom, you got it right. Electric Wizard, Dope Throne. Actually, my mom got this for me when we first got a turntable for the house, which is funny, I find ironic. But I was just a big fan of the album at the time. It really blew me away with how just crazy sounding it is, and like the idea of slow metal. This alongside the next one really got me into that stuff, but shades on purple vinyl. Whoa. It's probably definitely the most scratched up record I probably had, just because like I didn't know how to maintain records well enough back then, and probably let it go to shit. Had my cat running on top of the record once. Not ideal. But it still sounds great. It's a heavy record. If it was like a Nashville Skyline, yeah, I'd be screwed. But no, this sounds great. Definitely, obviously, stoner metal. Get high with your friends and put like side 1, side 4 on. Side 2 is probably where it's at with Weird Tales, that 15-minute epic. And then following that with Barbarian. I like side 3. I don't really listen to it as much as the other stuff. We Hate You is good. I Had the Witchfinders, really good. Like the guitar playing on that song is so, whoa. Whoops. I wish I had a turntable that automatically picked up the needle. Wouldn't that be hip? But yeah, great album. First album I ever got. Clearly got more stuff besides stoner metal. But here's one more. Sleep, Dope Smoker Now. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is the first song I ever listened to, like, baked, and oh my god, the first half hour, I was seeing stuff that was not there. It was such a good time, Not a scary time whatsoever, but yeah, look at that. Beautiful artwork. Great, clear, green vinyl. Oof. Very nice. Very nice. I know this version, yeah, has Holy Mountain and Sonic Titan, but I've seen recent pressings that have different songs, like Hot Lava Man or something. I wonder why they change it. I don't really listen to side 4. I should. I just feel like the quality of it can be a little rough, but obviously Dope Smoker is great. You could argue it's cheating to only listen to like side B or C, but honestly, with it being like 20 minutes each side, it's kind of nice to like just listen to the third side or the second, just because it kind of like picks up where I left off before. And again, it's like heavy stoner metal. It sounds great on speakers. The vocals are amazing. So I want to hear him actually sing a lot. I usually put on side 2. Side 3, obviously, where it concludes, probably the part I'm least familiar with, just because I can never get through like the whole thing. Mostly like I'll usually not tap out, but I'll, after the first half hour, I'm like really like deciding, am I gonna keep going with this journey? Am I gonna keep going with the bong in my hand? Yeah, great album cover. Oh my god, so good, so good. Really trying here, folks. I'm really trying. Okay, gotta make sure these records don't fall again. Yeah. That's probably gonna happen. Get ready. But yeah, some Jimi Hendrix now. Electric Ladyland. This is a great album to have. I was listening to this the other day, and like, man, what a perfect album. Like, this is again one of the many examples I have is like perfect double albums. All these songs hit. Like, it's a perfect album for sure. It doesn't even matter like the sides, like how they compare. I mean, side B is definitely more song oriented, while like side A and C are more based in jamming and all that, which I love. Like, side C is probably my favorite on here, but closing with side 4 on like House Burning Down, Along the Watchtower, Voodoo Child is just, again, such an amazing closer. And again, the opening too is amazing with Have You Ever Been to Electric Ladyland, Crosstown Traffic. Oh my god, one of the first Jimi Hendrix songs I really got into. And then the 15-minute Voodoo Child really sets you up for like this loose journey that he's going to take you through, this electricity land of ladies. But yeah, a good cover. The original cover he had in mind, it was alright. I think I have a photo of it. It comes with a little booklet. I kind of like this one better. Even the other one too, with like the chicks with their tits out. Call me crazy, I know. I mean, I just find that one to be more provocative. But I think this is a classic photo of Jimi Hendrix. Like, I don't know. When I picture this album, I pictured this sleeve. And then, this is not a double album, but I have a double album version of it, is Are You Experienced? Now, like with certain albums, back in the day, I never knew which songs were bonus tracks and which weren't. So sometimes, like, I love the bonus tracks as much as the original songs, and then when I try to find it on vinyl, it's impossible. And that's what I thought with this, because I love, like, Stone Free, 51st Anniversary, Red House. In my mind, this album ends on Red House. It does not end on Are You Experienced? Because I was so used to that, and then I kind of was sad that I could never buy this album because it would feel like it's incomplete. Luckily, I found on Discogs like a double LP version, which has side 3 and 4, 3 songs each, but they contain those bonus tracks that are so good, that so worth having. I mean, again, the original album is incredible, and side 3 and 4 are just like the cherry on the sundae, the Jimmy Sunday. And then, here's a fun one. An original master recording of Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs, Derek and the Dominoes. Now this, again, obviously, it's a OMR. It's incredible sounding. So heavy, very bluesy. Side 1 is great. Like, probably my favorite songs are on side 1. Side 4, incredible. Side 2 and 3, they're definitely, like, easier to kind of just, like, play in the background. They're just really good, not jamming songs, but, they got, like, some covers, some very soulful singing by Clapton, and again, that guitar playing, always killer. I mean, favorite songs on here definitely like Bell Bottom Blues, his version of Little Wing, Layla, of course, incredible. I used to think that song was so, but then I found it getting stuck in my head, and then just I was replaying it over and over, and especially on vinyl like this, oh, it's so worth having. And then yeah, we're getting to the ends, kinda. Yeah, I'd say so. Ooh, it's still probably my favorite album of all time, but oh yeah, the man lies down. Oh, the records lie down. Oh, God, we're almost there, guys. Genesis, The Land Lies Down on Broadway. What an amazing album. I've never actually read this. I'm kind of a fake fan. No, I've read it once, but I don't remember a clue what they're talking about. I know the story goes, but now this album, it's tough because I love this album so much, and I'll put it on, but I feel like sometimes, yeah, it's one of those things like you have to listen to all the way through. And it's easier to do that if I'm like driving or something rather than at home listening to records, but man, great stuff on here. I mean, the title track, side 3 with Lamia. Side 4 again, I see why people don't like side 4. It feels like it rushes the ending of the album, but still some great songs like It, Colony of Slippermen, even like Ravine, which I used to think obviously is like clearly a filler song. Not at all. This is dope album, great stuff. Best Genesis album, one of my favorite albums of all time, if not the favorite album of all time. And then another Genesis double LP, I got Seconds Out. Now this one is great because you got Phil Collins singing all the Peter Gabriel stuff. You got like, but well, also him getting the Trick of the Tail stuff in there too, which is so cool. Like Robbery, Assault and Battery, Afterglow, Carpet Crawlers. Obviously, Phil Collins kills on that version. The musical box, oh my god, incredible. The way they just do the closing section, which is my favorite part. Cinema Show, oh my god, probably the best version that Phil Collins does of the Peter Gabriel stuff, just incredible. The keyboard solo, that live is super good. I remember hearing that when Steve Hackett left when they were mixing this album, and I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but like I heard they like really mixed him down in the, you know, the mix, just because they're like, oh, he's gone, it doesn't matter. Which if that's true, damn, that's sad. But he kills it on here. Obviously they play like Firth the Fifth. I Know What I Like. That song I don't really go too often. Side 3 of Supper's Ready, really good. I don't listen to that much often, or yeah, that often in general, but I have a really bad version of Foxtrot, so honestly, I might give Side 3 a listen lately, because I got Supper's Ready. That's like something you need as a Genesis fan on vinyl, because it's a great side of music. And then wrapping it up, we got like Former records, guys. Whoa. You already know this is coming. Bitches Brew. One of the earliest jazz records I ever got. This is a nice original pressing. Sounds amazing. Very clean. The seam, or I forgot. There's some splitting going on right here. But again, I got this for $50 back in the day. That's not bad at all. This probably goes for way more now. But again, great jazz experience if you want to listen to some Miles Davis. The first album is just like these two 20-minute, 25-minute songs. Crazy stuff. I'd say side 3 and 4 are way more accessible, not by too much, but like there's definitely more of a groove going on. And one thing I really love about this album too is the, like in certain moments you really like pay attention. You hear Miles Davis like tell him like keep going or like speed it up or something. It's super fun. Feels like you're in the jam session with them, you know. And it's just such a great album. It's pretty, it's tough to describe the music, really. I mean, people will always, but I'm at a loss for words when it comes to this record because it's just that good. Blows my mind every time. But then we get to another Miles Davis album. Probably my favorite jazz album at the moment. I was playing just earlier, if you couldn't tell, but Miles Davis, Get Up With It. This album is incredible. I don't know how, but I just fell in love with this album. When I first heard about it, I mean, He Loved Him Madly, amazing 30-minute song. The second side, again, perfect in my opinion, with like the two chiller songs with some like, still like avant-garde playing, but it seems so like very free-flowing kind of stuff. Rated X is incredible too. Like I just like how it gets tense for that song. Side 3 with Calypso for Limo, incredible too. Like that song is just so, it's like, it's not like He Loved Him Madly. They're both like 30 minutes, but like this one has like way more of a progression to it. Like it starts off pretty wild and then it like gets quieter, gets back to getting loud. I just love it. Like for 30 minutes, they can really like play all this stuff without feeling like it's like too much or they're just kind of like filling time, you know. Side 4, I hear people say they don't like. I could kind of see it. I really like Side 4 as a closer with like Billy Preston, M Tune, Red China Blues. I'm a big fan of that. I'm glad there's like one short song on here because everything is like at least 10 minutes for the most part. Honky Tonk, Rated X are like I think 7, 6. But yeah, amazing album, amazing. I feel cool as hell. Like if I could do that 20 albums to have it look cool again, maybe I will. This will definitely be on there. And oh yeah. Now we got another album that blew my socks off in a past video I posted some time ago. Can's Tago Mago, however you say it. Now, again, another great experience on vinyl, just because like side 3 and 4. Well, yeah, honestly, yeah, every side is really good on here. I mean, my favorite's probably got to be like side 2 and 3, just because they have Hallelujah and I forgot how you say that word. Side 1 is a great kickoff though. It kind of eases you into the madness, and side 2 obviously is just so groovy, incredible groove. Like one of my favorite like drumming on any song I like. And then side 4 obviously is where it gets a little crazy with Pecking Out, which I really love. I remember obviously being blown away by that. And then Bring Me Coffee or Tea is like a good way to like ease the listener back into like, hey, the journey's wrapping up. Bring me coffee or tea, you know. Such a good album. I mean, the jamming, it's so easy to get lost in this music. No wonder it's seen as the best krautrock album. I could see why. This and a Mom Duel 2's Yeti, great combo. You're gonna be sweating by the time you finish those albums in one sitting. And then finally, the last double album I have. Wow. Can you guess? You got it wrong this time, but thanks for trying. It's Sublime's 40 Ounces to Freedom. Now, yeah, this was also one of the first records I ever bought. I grew up listening to this album, even when I didn't smoke weed, so I felt cool. You know, ooh, like, what song? Smoke 2 joints, or Let's Go Get Stoned. There's a guy whose name's Stone. I always find it intriguing. Yeah, good album. I don't listen to it that much, though, but I feel like the way these songs are separated does work in his favor. Like, again, there's a lot of great songs in here. There's not really any filler, in my opinion. Maybe besides, like, the last song, Thanks. But I mean, what do you got? Like, it starts off strong with like 40 Ounces of Freedom, Smoke 2 Joints, Don't Push. And then we get opening side 2 with 5446. That's my number. / Ball and Chain. Such a great song. You get some Bad Fish, like the hits, Scarlet Begonias, some covers. Side 3 is great. I mean, all these songs are great. I mean, Hope, Date Rape, What Happened, Right Back, just banger after banger after banger. And I love the variety on here too. They got punk, ska, some acoustic stuff. They just know how to have fun with it too, which is nice. You know, it makes it for an entertaining listen. But wow, guys, did I just do all that? I think I just did. Wow, thanks for putting up with me. I don't know what I got in mind for my next few videos, but I'm just trying to be here having fun, you know. I feel like if I do reviews, they get views and all that, but when I try to be more myself, you know, less hungover, but more of myself, I think that's where, you know, I get like better views and just better engagement, you know, because I just want to, you know, talk music, get introduced to music, introduce people to music, and these kind of videos help that rather than just talking about one specific album. So yeah, give me your thoughts on these records. Give me your thoughts on double albums, and hell yeah, do so. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.